Hello beautiful soul, it's lesson 20 today of the workbook in A Course in Miracles. So good to have you back here. And the headline of lesson 20 is I am determined to see. Now that doesn't show yet how special this lesson is, so let me tell you what made it special for me. Maybe you thought differently, but that's what it made it special for me. So the first time in this lesson we were asked to say the sentence throughout the whole day, and I'm actually quite excited about it. Why? Because it gives me more moments throughout my day to reflect on the lesson, to remind myself of the intention of the lesson. And then if we are just doing exercises 3, 4, 5 times, or maybe even just 2 times when I just get to it. So there are many more touch points on the lesson, which I really like. So I was very happy this morning when I read the exercise for today. After I read through the text this morning, I then meditated on the sentence for 15 minutes before I left the house. And I then drove to work, kept reminding myself of it. I was first going to the gym before work, and there it was still fairly easy to remind myself of the sentence, and I knew that would change as soon as I would get to work and get started on calls and tasks. So what I did when I got to work is I wrote myself a post-it. Actually, it's here currently now at home on my screen, and I put it on the screen to remind myself throughout the day of the sentence and to take a few seconds or even a minute to reflect on it. So that's what I did throughout the day. I did, I think, pretty well on reminding myself once, maybe sometimes even twice per hour. I thought it was enough. It gave me enough to think about and to reflect. So every time I saw the post-it, I stopped, I took a few seconds or even a minute to reflect and just repeat the sentence in my head. But then I would as well think a little bit more about the intention of the lesson, of the teachings that are included, and just sit with it as well and see if something wanted to come up. So yeah, pretty successful, I would say, thanks to my post-it that kept reminding me. So what did actually come up throughout the day, and what I observed as well about myself, is that in the first couple of hours of the day I was going off on tangents, so to say, with this thought. I kept thinking about, oh, what would it be like to see suddenly, or to have vision, or what would be the experience, what would it look like, what does it actually mean to suddenly see. So I would quite often go into tangents about this, and then when I caught myself doing it, I stopped it and let go of those thoughts, because I knew I was just going off, creating something in my mind that is not real and that is not helpful. That's why I stopped myself. But then throughout the afternoon, I suddenly had the realization that my only task of the day is to say the sentence, I'm determined to see. And what I did in addition was to remind myself that my task of the day is not to see. The task of the day is to tell myself, my conscious and my unconscious mind, my higher self, the higher power, God, source, that I am ready and that I'm determined to see. That was my one and only task for the day, to be ready and determined to see, not to see today. So once I got myself into that focus, I felt so much better. I was so much more with the task and with the sentence, and much more connected as well. I know it's a little bit hard to describe, but that was my experience. What was your experience with lesson 20? What do you think about reminding yourself throughout the day? Did it work well? Did it not work so well? Whatever happened, that's exactly what should have happened. So be kind to yourself. And let us know in the comments what you thought, what your experience was today with lesson 20. And I can't wait to see you all again for lesson 21 tomorrow. Bye bye.